What's up, everybody? It's RPS Nana, and I'm back. And today is time for the starter deck 29, ST29 Luffy Egghead Leader. Is this my new deck? I think it might be. Red Yellow Sabo has not been getting any support, so ST29 might just be the best deck out there. This is Luffy with 6 lives, and it's getting more support in EBO3. So let's get into a deck profile for now, and let's play some games. So you're gonna see some gameplay. We're going after meta leaders. Let's go. Okay, so here we are. This is starter deck 29, Monkey D Luffy leader. He's a 6 life leader, 5,000 power. When attacking, if you have 2 or less life cards, I can draw a card and trash one from my hand. Essentially, it's not that great of an ability. His ability is he's got 6 lives basically, and yellow, which has loads of triggers. So forget about that because I don't want to be going down to 2 life. But if I do, I get a card, but I've got a trash. Next card in, we've got the Usopp. It is a 2k counter essentially for this deck, but it has a great trigger because up to one of your Egghead type leaders or characters has plus 2,000 power until the end of your next turn. So this works for a lot of purposes. It's a great trigger to have. We've then got 3 of the Liliths, which is essentially a searcher. It's also a 1k, but it allows you to bring out a card. You can search for a card and bring it out if it has a trigger, then place the rest of the bottom of the deck. We've got 3 Capones. Again, this is a 2k counter. It's very similar to Usopp in terms of it's just there for 2k, but if it does manage to hit your life, then you can actually stop one of your opponent's leaders or characters attacking during that turn. So it's a very good trigger. We've got 3 Sindris. It's a blocker. I always need to add a couple blockers in my deck, but it's a blocker, 1k power, 1k counter, but it also has a trigger. So if it is in life, I can use this to bring out a Thriller Bark pirate character that's 4 cost or lower. So again, it's good, but they are coming out rested, so they could potentially attack it anyway. We've got 2 Kikanojos. I wanted to put more, but I thought let's test it with just 2 for now, see what else that we can either take this out or replace with. But the on KO effect is always like, it's one of the best. I had this in Red Yellow Sabo. If your opponent has 3 or less life cards, then I can add a card to the top of my life. It also has the trigger, but the opponent needs to have 3 or less life cards, and then I can play it from life. We've got 3 Dr. Hogbacks. It's a 1k counter, but this has a good on KO effect because it allows me to play up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less and a trigger other than Dr. Hogback from my trash. And as you can see, there is a lot of 4 or less characters that I could potentially bring out. It also has a trigger, the same as Sindri. I bring out a character, Thriller Bark character, but it is rested from the trash. We've got 2 Peronas. I wanted to add more if I'm honest, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to open enough OP14. So I actually only have 2 of this card to add in. The on-play effect allows me to stop one of my opponent's characters of 6 or less from attacking until the end of my opponent's next turn. And the trigger, the same as Dr. Hogback, the same as Sindri, bring out a character, a Thriller Bark character, and bring it out rested. So they all work in synergy together. We've got a 4 cost Sanji, essentially a searcher as well. It searches for Straw Hat type characters, and I get to add them to my hand. The trigger as well is good. You just have to trash 1 card and you can play out a body, a 5k body, so that can literally swing into most leaders. We've got 4 of the Nico Robins. This is from the starter deck as well as the Sanji. So we've got 4 of these, essentially a blocker, but it's also a 2k counter. And the trigger, if your leader is Monkey D Luffy, play this card. Very good card to have just for the trigger alone, because sometimes you're getting attacked. Bring out a blocker from your life. We've got 3 of the Namis with the on play. I have to trash a card that has a trigger from my hand, and I can KO up to one of their characters of 5 cost or less. And the trigger is essentially the on play ability. So a very good card to have in the deck as well. We've got 2 Kumas. I don't know if I'm going to be using this a lot, so it might get replaced with something else. For now, it's in there. I have 2 Kumas. I've pulled 2 Kumas anyway, so we can add this into the deck. I can add to my life and give myself basically 7 lives, depending on how many I've lost. But I give myself an extra life. I just have to trash 1 card. And on KO effect as well, if this does get KO'd, it's the same as Kikanojo. I will actually gain a life as well. So a good card to have if I do find myself needing life. This could come in handy. Again, this is from the starter deck, ST29. We've got the Jinbei. It's essentially a 2k counter, but it has a great trigger because it allows me to play this card and then I get to bring on a 5k body. So very good. We've got the 7 cost, 7,000 power blocker, which is Stussy. It's a great on playability that works very well with Monkey D. Luffy because essentially I can play this blocker and bring out a card that has a trigger from my hand. So works really well with Nami, with anyone that's basically from Nami and onwards. I can bring them out because the majority of them have triggers. So I can actually bring a body, bring up another blocker, anything, bring out the Nami, KO one of their characters. So very good card to have. We've got the Captain Kid with the on play to trash the top of their life. So good card to have at the late game, good 9k body, 8 cost. And then obviously at the end of your turn, if your opponent has, I think it's 2 or less life cards, then I get to draw a card basically. So good as well for that purpose. We've got the 8 cost Gecko Moria, 10,000 power character, and on play I get to play up to 1 Thriller Bark Pirate character, 4 cost or less. Either play it from my trash onto the field or add that to the top of my life face up. So again, this is a good character to have because I do have Thriller Bark Pirates characters. So Hogback, Perona, Sindri, these guys can come onto the field with this card as well. And the trigger itself, it allows me to play up to 1 character with a 4 cost or less from the trash. So it's not locked to Thriller Bark Pirates, that trigger. So I don't need to just bring out the Thriller Bark Pirates. I can bring out anyone from the trash. So that could come in handy. We've got 3 of the jewelry bunnies. I wanted to put 4. I only have 3. Unfortunately, I didn't open enough. OP14. On play, if your leader is Egghead type, this character gains rush. Then your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hand. So this is for the late game. They're at 1 life. They take that 1 life. You hit them with the jewelry bunny, and essentially you could potentially win that game. You've also got the trigger. So if you have 1 or less life cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. So it's a decent trigger at the very end game, but you want this card in your hand. You don't want to be using that trigger. We've also got 2 events. One of them came from Starter Deck 29. This is the Kizaru's event, which essentially makes you unblockable. It only works with Monkey D. Luffy, and it makes you unblockable, but it also has a counter. However, that counter is locked to your leader, so it just bumps them up 3k, but it's only for your leader. We've also got 2 of the Flame Dragon King. This is a very good counter. You probably want to be using this as early as possible because the counter gives you 4k power to stop anything coming. So that's a lot of power, but it also allows you to look at your life cards and return them in any order. So you can kind of plan for your actual triggers to hopefully help you win the game. So that is the deck. This is what we are playing. Let's get into some gameplay and can we beat some of these meta leaders? All right, so you've got an Emu. We've got a terrible hand and we're going second, so we're gonna mulligan that. And well, we've got nothing, but we've got Flame Dragon King, so that should be enough if they do attack, which I'm hoping they do, and then at least we can arrange life. So yeah, so they've taken it, they've gone 7, we use Flame Dragon, bump him up, and we've got an interesting life here. So the problem with Emu and the Elders is you can't even do removals. So we've got 2 Namis in life. So I think moving them down to the bottom, just using them for counter. So for now, let's just do 5. If they take it, we can bring out Kikanojo. Ah, they've taken it, so Keeks comes out. So that's decent. So they've got their Saturn on, essentially a searcher. And they didn't take the attack, so they're probably scared that I've arranged life in a specific way. So fair enough, I didn't. It's just for my blocker to come on. So I think let's go 2 6s at life. So 6 with my leader. The counter out of that, we'll go 6 again. They've taken that one, and then we can bring Perona off and freeze the Saturn. So at least now we've got a decent-ish board. So they've gone 5. We'll trash Sindri for the 1k, because we can just bring that back out with Gecko Moria next turn if things go right. So they've gone for Kikanojo. So I could get the life, but we've got an army, and I don't think I'm going to use the Kuma. So I think let's counter out of this. Save the Kikanojo for one more turn to actually just keep the pressure up. So the whole point with Emu is keep pressure, keep building, before they are throwing on all those elders. So we've got lucky at this point. So I think let's clear board a bit. So we go 5 again. So they've counted out of both of those. We do 6 with Kikanojo. They counter out of that as well. So Gecko Moria, let's bring out Sindri as well. So at least we've got the blocker now. They're just searching and trashing more. So they're looking for something. They've got something. And yeah, so they've brought on the Peter. So now all their characters are 7,000, all their elders characters anyway. Do we block? I think we block 1, force them to not go for life. We'll gain 1 life, so they've wasted an attack. They've gone 9,000 to Perona, but there's not much I can do with that anyway. So yeah, it's gone. Doesn't have a fact. We've drawn into a Bonnie, so we had Bonnie and life that we were waiting for, but we've got a Bonnie now, so we could end game here. So let's go 5 at lead. They've got no blockers on the field. We've got Gecko Moria. They shouldn't be able to counter out of that. And then Bonnie should be end game. So give the 1 dot in case they've got an event with some good counter. They do have an event. Ah, not enough. GG's. There you go. Alright, so now we've got Ace. We've got red, blue, Ace. 3 life leader, but he is at 6,000 power. We're going second. We did Mulligan. We've got Flame Dragon King. So it looks like that's going to be our best move. Rearrange this life and hope for the best that we can get some nice triggers. The longer this game goes on, the worse it's going to be for me, because if they bring on that new gate blocker, yeah, I'm going to have some problems. So we'll use Flame Dragon King. Life is interesting. We've got a Kikanojo, plus we do have a Nami. We've got Unblockable as well, so let's move Unblockable to the bottom. And yeah, I think that's the best move for now anyway. We've got 1 in hand as well. Hopefully it doesn't go that long. So we can't do anything. I think we need to establish a bit of a board. We can't attack because he's 6,000, so we've brought on the Hog back. So they've brought on a Yamato. They've gone 7,000. We'll take it, bring out Kikanojo. So now at least we've got another body to attack with. We pulled into another 2k. So again, we don't really have much in hand. But I guess we can go 6s. So at least let's do 6 at lead. Counter out of that. We'll do another 6. They take that one. Let's go Kikanojo for 6. And yeah, they counter out with their leader ability. So let's bring on Nico Robin for a blocker at least. So yeah, we need to get this game quickly over with, because yeah, I think next 2 goes we're gonna get. Okay, interesting. So they brought out the ace, and that sent my Kikunojo back to my hand, but I can bring out a 4 or less character. Well, it doesn't stop me from bringing her back out, so let's take that. I don't know why that works, but I will take that. I guess she is 4 or less, so Keeks is coming back out. So fair enough, but it does have rush. So yeah, so do we use blocker or do we counter out of it? Let's use blocker for 1. We can't really do anything anymore. To be fair, we do have counter. We need to keep a body on. We save the counter now. Let's block out of that. Or counter out of that anyway. And they've still got the attack from lead as well. So yeah, I don't actually have any Thriller Bark characters in my deck. Sorry, in my trash. So I think now they're just going to get rid of Hogback. And we don't bring anything out. But dude, wait. Hogback, it just needs a trigger on the KO. So I could have brought out my Nico Robin, couldn't I? Okay, so we've made one mistake there. Okay, so yeah, that was a very bad move. I think let's go for board. Let's try and get rid of the ace. And then I think let's go for life. Try and get them down to 1. So at least if they do take it, then we can try and bring on Bonnie. That was so bad. What am I doing? Hogback is not locked. His on KO is not locked. So we could have brought out the Nico Robin blocker again. So they counter out of this leader ability plus counter. They're still at 2 life. They're using the event, and now we're getting Newgate. So they've got a huge 12k blocker on the field, and they've got Rested Don to use, and their leader is bumped up to 2k. So we'll have to lose Keeks. Keeks is gone. So we can actually add to the top of our life if we take either the top or bottom. Let's use that. Take the bottom so we can get unblockable. Let's put the Usopp back to life, so at least that can bump me up 2k. I feel like I had another Usopp in there, because we're going to need that. We're going to need some bumps to cause some sort of pressure anyway. So we've got another Nico Robin. I think this is probably best for Stussy. Bring on the Nico Robin as well. Do we go big or leave 2 done up to kind of scare them a bit? I think let's just go. Let's go 6 at Yamato. So it goes 6 at Yamato. Probably got counter because they've got loads of cards in hand, but let's try and get rid of some of these cards anyway. But yeah, let's go Stussy, bring on Nico Robin. There's no point of using the Bonnie now when they've got a 12k blocker on. It's not gonna do anything. And we've got another Newgate. Use the event as well, so they're at another 2k for their lead. So great. So they've taken from their hand. We're going to bump him up to 7. To be fair, that didn't actually help because we didn't have any counter. I think let's keep the Sanji in hand. Let's not get bodies on the field. We need counter in hand at least. And to be fair, we could have used one of the events, but we need to keep the events because they've got big body blockers on the field. I clicked too quickly. I should have used Stussy blocked out of it. We didn't. Okay, fine. Hopefully it's the Usopp, I think. No, it's not. So let's get rid of Bonnie. Let's get rid of their Yamato. So now they have to attack with their new gates at least. So for now, we've got nothing to bring on. I think we go unblockable here. Use it. They've got 0 life. Let's go with Stussy. Oh my, okay, second mistake now, because Stussy is at 7, but he's got that 2k boost. So we've made a mistake again. So we may have just lost this game. This might be over now, because we should have just protected her in case we didn't have anything left. So at least we had a blocker on the field. Oh dear. That was bad. But I think my last card is Gecko Moria, so at least we can bring on a body from his trigger. So yeah, perfect. So we've got the Usopp, we've bumped him 2k again. We'll use the Gecko Moria. I think blocker, right? Blocker. So they've still got 10 Don, so they were going to go heavy, but we've got a blocker. We're at 7k. They could spread out the Don and do 3 attacks with maybe 2 attacks anyway. But they've gone 2 blockers, so they've brought out 2 Marcos. We're just going to let Stussy go. We'll keep the blocker this time. And now we'll use Unblockable. They've got 3 cards in hand. So come on, this has to work now. It does. GG's. All right, lucky there. So that is it. Egghead Luffy. ST29 Luffy is here to stay. I think this is my new leader because it is managing. Emu got swept. Ace, we got a little bit lucky, but the triggers help and they got defeated as well. So this is a great deck. I'm going to be taking it to locals probably tomorrow. So let's see, can I actually beat some other leaders out there? So don't worry, I will let you know if I do win, and I will see you all again very soon.